Have you ever been the reason someone snapped? My friend Stephanie asked me to deliver divorce papers to her husband at his office. She couldn't do it herself because she'd already moved out and was terrified of seeing him. I knew Greg had a temper, but Stephanie said he always controlled himself at work, so I should do it there. But by the time I got to Greg's office, it was mostly empty. He was sitting at his desk typing and looked up with a friendly smile when I knocked. Greg had always kept Stephanie so isolated from her friends, he didn't even recognize me. "Can I help you?" he asked, and I just handed him the envelope saying it was a delivery that required his signature. He seemed normal, even chatted about the weather, but then he opened it. I watched his face change as he read the first line. The smile disappeared like someone had erased it, replaced by complete stillness that was somehow worse than anger. His breathing got shallow and quick. "Divorce," he said. Not a question, but like he was testing how the word felt. He kept reading, his knuckles going white as he gripped the papers. I started backing toward the door. "She didn't even have the courage to tell me herself," he said, voice eerily calm. He stood up slowly, papers still in hand, and I noticed how much bigger he was than me. 23 years, and she sends a stranger. He laughed, but it sounded hollow. A vein in his temple was pulsing, and his face was getting redder by the second. I told him I was just the messenger and needed to go. Greg walked around his desk toward me, not fast but deliberate, blocking my path to the door. "Did she tell you what a monster I am?" he asked, stepping closer. "Did she tell you her version of our marriage?" I could smell coffee and something sour on his breath. My heart was pounding so hard I was sure he could hear it. I said I didn't know anything about it, just doing a favor. "A favor," he repeated, slamming his hand so hard his keyboard jumped. "You're helping her destroy my life as a favor." His voice was getting louder with each word. I tried to move toward the door, but he grabbed my shoulder, not violent but firm enough to stop me. His fingers dug in through my shirt. "Where is she?" he asked, his grip tightening. "Where is my wife?" I said I didn't know, and he squeezed harder, his thumb finding the pressure point above my collarbone. "Don't lie to me," he said, and I could feel him trembling with rage. "She had to give you these papers. You know where she is." I insisted I didn't know, that she'd dropped them at my apartment, and his face went darker. He shoved me backward into the wall, not hard enough to hurt, but enough to let me know he could. He let go and walked to his desk, pulling something from the drawer. My whole body went cold thinking it was a weapon, but it was his phone. He scrolled through photos, showing me pictures of Stephanie at their wedding, with their kids, at Christmas. "This is my family," he said, voice breaking. "My whole life." Then his voice went flat again. "And you're helping her take it away." He threw the phone at the wall where it shattered, the crack sounding like a shot in the quiet office. I heard footsteps in the hallway and felt relief thinking someone else was working late, but Greg didn't even glance at the door. He was staring at me with this intensity that made my skin crawl. "You have no idea what you've started," he said. He picked up a paperweight from his desk, heavy glass shaped like an award, turning it over in his hands. "She thinks she can just leave? Just take everything?" He threw it through his office window, glass exploding outward into the night. The sudden violence made me jump, and he smiled at my fear. The footsteps passed by without stopping. Greg grabbed the divorce papers again, reading through them properly this time, his lips moving as he scanned each line. His face went from red to purple as he found something in the custody section. "She wants full custody," he whispered, then screamed it. "Full custody of my children." He threw the papers at me and they scattered across the floor. He picked up his desk chair and smashed it against the wall, pieces of plastic flying everywhere. "My kids," he kept saying, pacing now like a caged animal. "She can't take my kids." He punched the wall hard enough to leave a hole in the drywall.